Maybe that'll do it. Hello, my beautiful family. Happy New Year. Welcome to Galactic Tarot. Welcome to this special, very special presentation where we will be looking into each month, doing a full card reading, a full spread, full crystal cross reading for each month. A lot to share from what's been coming through in November and December that Spirit, God wanted me to share with everybody here today. A lot of things to validate about your process, a lot of things to validate about all these massive shifts that have been taking place to get into this year, to get into this modality of what's taking place. And without a card, without anything other than just tuning in on what I see for all of us, this is the year. Okay, hi, welcome. This is the year that the planet steps into innocence. And for that to take place, certain forms, certain archetypal frequencies, certain things that might be considered a dragon, this thing, that thing. It's not about labeling. It's about looking at things that are narcissistic frequencies that are wanting to prevent, control, or hurt, or destroy, even worse, innocence. And that is the frequency of the ultraviolet. That is the frequency of your inner child. That is the frequency of the Holy Spirit. That is what is known as the Trinity, is both sides of you on this polarity called gender, both sides of you working together to create this third thing, okay? So with what's taking place right now, with us stepping into these ultraviolet frequencies, which I can tell you we're late, but yeah, this was definitely projected to, it could have been earlier than now. These are the timeline shifts that are shifting as like what needed to be done, because there were things that you were doing in October, November, and December that you didn't want to do. You didn't want to do them. You had to do them. You knew you had to do them as you were doing things that you did not want to do. So to just explain that, but to also just give you this opportunity, just like, take it with a grain of crystal, if you will. You're not leaving anybody behind. We're all going together, and to just explain that in terminologies of the rainbow and the light and the frequencies that we're stepping into and the things that are connected to those rays of light, those arced angles. You can look at it like chakra, you can look at it like light, you can look at it like angels. Just look at it as frequency. It's all the same. It's all energy. It's all the planetary energy. It's all the star seed energy and how people look at things. But basically seeing that some people, to just say this in as few words as possible, to see that some people have activated the heart. They've gotten their energy to the frequency of the heart. And yes, maybe they're bouncing like this. Maybe they're going down into the red light. Maybe they're going down into survival and fear. Maybe they're going down into sexual distortions. Maybe they're like bouncing between this. We have to be able to trust them to know when the time is for them to step into the indigo, to step into the blue. Because when we step into the blue with the third eye and the frequencies and the wisdom, the oracle, the high priestess, 50% of the way through that process, we reach reasoning. And when we reach reasoning, the person then has to go back through this like second dark night of the soul, the second Saturn returns, if you will, because to truly get through reasoning, we're able to see a pattern. And when we're able to see that pattern leads back to childhood. It leads back to abandonment. It leads back to insecurity. It leads back to trauma. So to truly step through the reasoning, to truly step into that doorway as a whole, because once we step into it, like once we even like tiptoe the toe into the indigo light, it's inevitable. If the process has begun, it must be completed. Okay? So we need to be able to trust the people around us and just know they're coming with us because they activated their heart. Even if they're in the darkest of the red light and they seem to be lost, as long as they activated their heart at some point, they're coming with us. So this whole like, oh, but I'm trying to take this person with you. They're already going with you. They're already coming with you. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about the ways that you'll know if they're not coming with you, because you inherently know. So with this whole thing with this resonance with reasoning, that's what's necessary to get through this dark blue, purple blue light in the frequency to be able to ascend into that ultraviolet. We have to ascend through the ultraviolet to get up to where the Holy Spirit, to where the inner child is, where that frequency is. That is the red combined with the blue. Like, it's right there. It's like if you're building a pyramid and you have mom and you have dad, and boom, mom and dad make this ultraviolet child. Like, that's these color rays overlaying each other. So if someone's not ready for that, trust that, because it's look what it's done to you. Look what it's done to all of us. Those of us that stepped into that and have actually been going back to this stuff and facing it, it's not even that it nearly destroyed us. It had to destroy the old me. Like, it had to destroy the old you if you've done that process and stepped into your inner child. It's not possible to do that without that. You're going to have the strongest connection ever to your heart. But to do that, like, the reasoning needs to be intact. The reasoning of why. The reasoning of why. What is sacred needs to be protected by any means necessary. And many of you were in situations, friendships, relationships, and jobs that needed to end because of the fact that precious version of you couldn't even come out because there was not safety there. And you need to be safe to be that for everybody else, to have this 100th monkey effect take place. And that's how we get out of this frequency, these bands of light, to step into the bands of light that we cannot see. Like, scientifically, the ultraviolet light is the last spectrum of light that we can see. And the light stream right after that is the X-ray. It's literally the light that can see through things. This is the process, my family. This is what is taking place. This is science. This has very little to do with spirituality and metaphysics. It's more science and philosophy. And yes, there are obviously metaphysical things that are taking place. But for us to become the rainbow, truly open and align all these chakras, to tame our dragons, to do what we came here to do, that's what's necessary. So if somebody doesn't have the capacity to go through reasoning, trust them. Know they're coming with you, and truly just sit with it and ask yourself, have they activated their heart? And if the answer to that is yes, just trust. And I don't think anybody could be in your field if they didn't have an activated heart. So trust their process. And maybe when a few more of these 100 monkeys activate, they'll be able to see. When God snaps his fingers, they'll be able to see. They'll be able to see the folly of their way. They'll be able to say sorry. They'll be able to forgive themselves. They'll be able to do the things that are necessary to heal, to reason. So yeah, that feels complete for now. Like, that'll obviously have to be a whole nother video that I'll be bringing up that subject here and there. And that's the type of stuff we've been talking about on Patreon. I think that was like a few weeks ago on Patreon, where I go more in depth into that. But let's talk about Halloween for just a second. I know we're still in the 12 days of Christmas, but like, let's just like validate something that I know a lot of you felt. Halloween used to be like my favorite holiday, like straight up. Like, it was just like so much fun, the magic of it. And I'm sure if the vast majority, God wanted me to share this with you today. Something was different with the magic. The magic was missing. Like, many of us didn't even go out. Many of us didn't buy a costume. Many of us went out, but there was like something missing. Something felt off. The frequencies have basically realigned to explain what's taking place right now. That magic was always the Christmas magic, the holiday magic. I'm not trying to trigger anybody with it. That magic of Halloween belonged at this window of December right now, the window we are in right now. So just to prepare everybody for not only this like flash of light, however that may be, whether it's physical, like actual flash of light, or whether there's some illumination coming, I know something's shifting during January, because by what I was just telling you, what God wants me to tell you, if right now is Halloween, that means that January is Thanksgiving, and that means that February is Christmas. So there are gifts coming for all of us. There are gifts coming for each and every one of you. And the key to receiving these gifts is gratitude, it's faith, and it's hope. Because hope is the baby of faith and gratitude. It's faith of what we know is going to happen. I have faith that this is going to happen. That is basically, I don't even want to use the word manifest. That is what we know by God's grace is going to take place. Hope is what we know we need help for this to take place. What we know we need the help from whatever your vernacular is, God, the original creator of your soul, the universe, source. We need help to do this thing. And that's where the miracles lie. The miracles lie in hope. It's like if I went back to 1950 and I go to this guy and I'm like, bro, manifest whatever car you want, your dream vehicle. He could make the most beautiful car in the world. And then a few months later, a car comes out with air conditioning. And he's like, oh, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of hope. And I know that's like a very silly way to analyze this, but think about it that way. When we leave room for hope by being in gratitude and by being in faith and by being in trust and by being in truth, that's how things can end up better than you could ever manifest your next lover, better than you could ever manifest your next home, your next vehicle, your castle in the sky that you're pulling down in this fifth dimensional and up matrix that we're having this conversation in. There has to be room for the unexpected, because the unexpected is the thing that makes your heart sing, my family. That's what makes your heart sing. The thing that you would have never known to manifest that your lover will do that. You would have never known to manifest that that thing is in your backyard or front yard or under the house. Okay? I love you. So let's get on into it. Let me move these dragons out of the way. So we're going to go, we're going to get right on into it. And what we're getting right on into today is we're going to be dropping cards on January. And so there's going to be collective readings for all of us, for humanity. There's going to be collective readings for each month. Starting now, we're going to do January. So this is, I'll see you on the 15th still. But yeah, this is everybody's. So this is the first time we're going to be doing a collective reading. Even though this happened last time, we're doing a collective reading. We're not going through every single zodiac sign. We're going through every month. So January, right now, this first reading we do is going to be all of our reading for the next month. Okay. I will get, as of right now, it seems like Spirit's going to have me get back to on February 1st. That sounds so far in the future. Holy crap. On February 1st, I will be getting back into the zodiac readings as of now. But for today, this is what we're doing. These are your 12 readings, and Happy New Year. And I love you all so much. So 1 January. Okay, and that is 1414. No big deal. Okay. Thank you for being here. My sissy. My sissy's here. Okay. Are you ready? Mary, in the original Mother of God. Jesus is guiding my hands to run card reading for everybody. month of June. I am that I am that I am that I am. Oof, that I shall be. Okay. All right. I guess I'm telling that story too. Okay, good. Good. And there's the wheel. Okay. Oh, God. Whew. Can't talk about that part, but I can talk about this part. Okay. So, the vibration of unconditional love, the true vibration of love, the true vibration of strength, the vibration of vulnerability. We see that this death has taken place. This is what I was basically saying during the Galactic Update. This is the equivalent of Alex being dead and Alexander growing and floating above the grave of my old self. Okay. This is what has taken place within many of us. This is what is taking place during the month of January, is what is coming up. We're learning what it is to be the new version of us, to be the old version of us, to be the version of us that we came here to be. The reason why you're here, to truly be in your life purpose. This is what is taking place. There were many things from the old reality that we had to sit with. Sit with the vibration, because this is a time where there's going to be moments where you're like, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this pressure? What that pressure is this is what we've been stepping out of. This is exactly what we've been stepping out of. Is instead of having depression and trauma be the thing that caused us to ascend, like that pressure is coming from other sources now. For us to step into a heaven on earth reality, we can't be under the guise and these prerequisites that the only time we've ever gotten to this next level and started to do this and stepped into our power is from trauma. It's pressure. What is pressure? It's pressure that turns a piece of coal into a diamond. It is pressure that turns iron into ruby. It is pressure that turns fluorine into fluorite. It is pressure that turns salt into sodalite. This is how the entire periodic table of elements and the entire scientific process works, is the pressure that's created by magnetism, by energy, by God, by the reality, is what is making your body go crystalline. It is the cause to have Odin go through this whole awakening up on the mountaintop. It is the cause of this revelation, plain and simple. Revelations in love, revelations in magic, revelations in power, the entire planetary awakening. That is what is represented here. These old versions of you are going to be attempting to come out. These old versions of you are going to be attempting to, you can feel it. My friend, I know you can feel it. It doesn't feel good. It has nothing to do with new you. It has nothing to do with new you. That is the last remnants of you being in this whole pressure cooker thing that we ascended into, in this duality matrix that we're stepping out of. It was that pressure that you needed. It was that pressure that you needed. Needed, not need. And that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. During this month, you can see it. I don't know whether to go left or go right. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The oracle sees beyond the veil. This veil will be lifted in whatever way, personally, or this will be happening collectively. It's definitely happening for everybody hearing this message. You know what not to do. You know not to lie. You know not to hurt people. You feel it in your body. Checking in on what you're doing. The time of the prince and the princess is over, my family. This is the time of royalty. This is the time of the true monarchy. This is the time of the decision. No more of these choices. Oh, I'm just trying to make a choice. I'm trying to choose the right thing. Oh, is it her or her? Is it this or that? Those are choices. Where you are and what you're stepping into, the entire menu is yours. The entire menu. We do not choose an appetizer. Oh, yeah, I know she's bad. That's just my dessert. Oh, no. The entire menu. That cannot take place. That cannot happen without you set. No, decise. An incision, when a doctor cuts into somebody, incise, to cut in, a decision means I have cut off all of these other lower vibrational things. I have cut off lust. I have cut off these drugs. I have cut off looking at sex how I do. Like, things are ending, my family, but they end within. They end within you not allowing yourself from these levels of strength. This is the time of the decision for what is best for you. No more choices. No more choices. Decide and end the old and step into the new. This is what you've learned. You've learned how to make decisions. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. There is no, you don't know what to do. You know what you had to do. If you haven't done it yet, you know what you need to do, not want. You know what you need to do to step through this gateway. So it's talking about the house on the hill. Something that's causing drama is going to spread that. It's going to spread that. If your innocence is not being protected, how do you protect the innocence of others? I'll say it again. If your innocence is not being protected, seen, how do you do that for others? If you're allowing it within yourself, if you're allowing it within your temple, if you're allowing it at mom or dad's house or at work, we have to stop feeding into these things. We have to stop allowing them. It's about your self-regulation, how you self-regulate, how you speak your truth, and how you live in your truth. So this is what's most important, is that you step into the version of you that you are. And the version of you that you are would take a bullet for a child. So you have to, I have to, we have to stop allowing our child to be hurt. Welcome to 2025, my beautiful family. Perhaps. Ooh, sow the seeds, cutting out the weeds. Sagittarian. I love that. All right, now let's look at February. 2347. Okay. There it is. So I can see it. All right. So what this is saying, I know that looks pretty gnarly because we're doing a reading for us. We're doing a reading for us. This is this collective reading, and what we are seeing is this is what I was talking about. This is the narcissist. This is when the narcissist is going to be able to see what they've been doing, because this is going to happen to them, and not that they have to suffer. They do not have to suffer, but these narcissistic energies that are not in alignment with God, that certain people's egos have them thinking that this is their oracle, this is their frequency, this is their truth. These things, these bondages, these dominations, that the light will be cast on them. These cannot exist in the reality that you have chosen. So that is why this is taking place. It is time for the dragon to sleep. It is time for the dragon to sleep and wake up a phoenix. This is what has been taking place within many of you. This is what will be taking place, and we will see in February. Like this is the plan. This is not this scary thing that needs to take place. This is all in accordance with God's plan. This is how this was supposed to happen. And then there's this building again. There's this frequency again. What we've been building, doing this building, doing this work to create the house in the sky so we can manifest it here. You heal me, I heal you. They're going to be sitting with the words. They're going to be sitting with the resentment. They're going to be sitting with the regret that they could not do the thing that was very, very simple. This was not rocket science. This was very simple. Support, peace, love. That is not your fault. You did your best. We did our best for this. So it's not you that's looking back, because we see like there's this whole portion of humanity that's looking backwards. No. The awakening's already happened for you. It was a tough decision, but you went through the awakening. You're the immovable object of love. This is the journey. And they will get there. They will get there. The people that have not stepped into true reasoning, that are still allowing their egos to run them, that are still being narcissistic, that are still hurting others, they have to see. I pray for them, and I hope that we all can pray for them, that is graceful. That is not as traumatic as it was for some of us. It can be easy. I don't see how it can, but that's where we have to trust in spirit. That's where we have to trust in God. Okay? But it's inevitable that we cannot have narcissistic tendencies in a heaven on earth reality. Okay? So the magic, moving forward, looking back, being in the present moment, healing the past. This is what we're seeing, that whether it looks strange or not, this is these people having this realization to step into these modalities, to admit what they've done, and to move forward with some sort of course of action. That the blue light that I was speaking about during the intro, that's the blueprint. It's the blue light reasoning. You cannot build a structurally sound container without the blueprint. That is what we are holding. That is what we are knowing. That is what is guiding what is up in the sky, this blueprint to build this container, to have this come down in hope. Okay? Nothing can be on the pedestal but original creator, but God. If money is on the pedestal, if lust is on the pedestal, if anything is on the pedestal, those are the people that are seeing. So if you're hearing this message and you're like, oh crap, I kind of am like lusting over fame or this medicine or whatever. Now, do it now. You have all month. You have all month. All of our computer processing power in the fourth dimensional way of looking at life, that is now in every single dimension. It doesn't matter if it was going to take 10 750-year-long lifetimes. It's going to take moments for you to do this. So if it takes you a few days, that's more than was necessary. These fourth dimensional shifts are taking place in the physical so we can truly step into these higher dimensions and ways of thinking. And that's why we have this 10 septrillion capacity now of what took what takes 3 minutes now took numbers that the computers could not even figure this stuff out. We are in a different reality here and now. You have this access here and now. So if you're hearing this, or you know who you need to send this to, send it to them. It doesn't matter if it triggers them. It doesn't matter if they thumbs down the video. I don't care. If people are ready to hear this, they're ready to hear this. If they're not, they're going to turn it off. We have to be in love. We have to be in love. And that's what we're seeing here. With no more of this narcissistic stuff. This is happening. Okay. This is the journey. So trust, like, this is like, you're just observing this and you're ready. When they're ready to receive healing, you're ready to heal them multidimensionally with your presence. All you have to do is be ready for them to say, what do I do? Hey, you did this. I saw you do this. What did you do? So we could tell them, oh, I did this. I went to the gym. I took walks. I meditated. I spent time alone. I prayed. I did this. I did that. I called all these people that I hurt and I said I was sorry to them. I stepped into my vulnerability and stopped looking at it as weakness. I started to tell my family members and my friends that I love them and don't look at love as weakness. I felt my feelings and stopped bottling them up. You'll know what to say when they know to ask the question, and trust in that. There's your February. March it is. Here we go. Oof. I don't know who you are, brother. You're on fire. Stepping out of the toxic masculine into the healthy masculine. That's it. That's it. That's the blueprint. That's how we can support others. That's how we have to support others. That's a whole other video for another day. What the blueprint is. I can't start to scratch the surface of it. I'm gonna show these. Okay, March. Thank you all for being here. Okay, more info. There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, people definitely need this message. Maybe write a little message for yourself on March 1st to come back and watch this reading. Okay. Maybe leave a little note in your Google Calendar on your phone. Go back and watch this reading, at least this portion. Just write down the time and come back here, because for many of us, yeah. See, this is exactly what I knew was going to happen. Okay, beautiful. Okay, the learning. So in March, people are learning that the reason that something was blocked from them, they were the only ones that were responsible for this. Okay, I gotta lower this music a little bit so I can focus. Okay. People are going to be able to see that what they have learned is something they were doing was causing fights and what caused the ending of something, caused the ending of a relationship, caused the ending of a job, caused the ending of living with this roommate, caused the ending of a business partnership, caused the ending of a friendship. But now there's this newborn baby. There's this birth. The light is shining. The light is shining, and now the offering will be there. The offering will be there to be like, I will sit with what I have done. I hurt you. So this is the process that I told you was happening. So this is the rising of the phoenix. This is what's happening. The narcissist goes through this. They see. The narcissists in your life will be able to see by March, is what this says. Okay? But Spirit is wanting me to, like, really, like I said, this is why, like, if this is hitting for you and you've recently gone through one of these endings, this is when you really have to sit with what I'm about to tell you now. To look towards the future, to truly see and feel. What you are hearing is beautiful. It's in allowance and in accordance with the inner child and God and the feminine. Is it truly going to be enough when you and this person are left to your own devices? Is it enough? Are they them having this realization? Is there more building? Is there more work that needs to be done so you do not allow them to leech off of your light? Like, just because this narcissistic thing has started to end does not mean it's over. They have years of stuff to do. It's not going to take years, but it's not ready on March 1st. It's not ready on March 1st. So they're moving forward as this new version of them, as this like healed teenager. But there's still this I'm crying over spilled milk. There's still this I'm blaming something. There's still shame and blame, which pulls the frequency down to the red. We can't allow ourselves or anyone around us to sit in the red. It's up and out, and the color rays that we do not know what they look like. That is what this year holds. And the eye of the needle, the keyhole, or the slip under the doorway to do that is innocence, is love, is hope, gratitude, faith. So looking at the future, we see that they have started it. They have begun it. They've begun it. They're building this. They're sitting with the truth. They're admitting, they're saying they're sorry. Like, this is taking place. It's not time yet to go back. It might not ever be time to go back. It's definitely not time in March, whatever this is. If this is a relationship, if this was a friendship, if this was a job, and they're like, we can't do it without you, whatever this is, wait. You chose you to get to this point. You're being asked to drive this point home and choose you in March 2025. Puffing with the dragon. It's an offering. Sometimes the second offering is the better offering. If somebody around you is in shame and blame, that it's very. I don't know what it looks like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's impossible, because we don't know what's possible, because we're stepping into a brave new world here. I can tell you that in the past, it was very difficult to not slip into shame and blame when I had people around me that were in shame and blame. Okay. 3902. Here we go. I love that. If you see the same tree twice in the woods, that means you're lost. Oof. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's never good when you end up at your own trail of breadcrumbs, huh? God, I hope I remember to write that down later. That's good. Catherine. Oh. Okay. Hey. Hey. Oh. Oh, yeah, there's really good energy. Really good. Okay. I'm really happy about April. Okay. All right. So we see that certain things from the old patriarchy have failed, certain things. The light has illuminated something that could have happened, would have happened in a different timeline, but is not happening because of the work that you did, because of the work that we did to sit with these forces and to love that which seemed unlovable, that seemed out of alignment, to sit in the cave, so to speak, with the dragon. Okay. The light has now shined inside this cave. And it's like what we're looking back on is how we created this. How did we create what we created? And what is it that we create next? With multidimensionality, how did this happen? It's like the equivalent of me saying to you, if you're having deja vu, okay, so if this already happened, what happened next? Let me say that one more time. If you're having deja vu, that means that this already happened. So if this already happened, then what happened next? So decisions of what we're creating, we create with the tribe, we create with the family. I see abundance. I see love. I see positive energy. I see you took the high ground multidimensionally, and therefore you must be on the high ground in the physical, in communication with spirit, in your strength, in the masculine, in the feminine, in the vibration of unconditional love. So you will be seeing during the month of April that nothing is, not that nothing is, it's more difficult for you to act how you used to act, and your self-regulation is in a higher place where you're in a state of observing. You've stepped into this role fully that you always knew you were in, where you are the watcher that watches the watcher. This has nothing to do with spying. This has to do with you watching, and your eyes and your vibration, having people hold themselves accountable, having people have themselves self-regulate. This is not a time of telling people what they've done wrong. They will feel it. They will see it. It's instant manifestation. There's instant manifestation is already here, but manifestation is more powerful in April is what this says. The good ones are always faster. It's a lot of excellence. Okay, you know, how much detail do I got to go in? Okay, April, May, 4404. Okay, here we go. Who watches the Watchmen? We do. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is all part of the path. Whatever's taking place in May, what's taking place in May. You are driving forward. You are driving forward, and there are going to be decisions. There are going to be truths that you need to align yourself with, that you will be aligning yourself with, and being in trust of whatever is taking place. You will be able to see that now it's like almost like you got to write down 2 months to remind yourself. This same situation, this same person, what was that? Was that March? This thing that's attempting to repeat itself in your reality in March, maybe it's something to do with the M's. It's trying to repeat itself in May. You, above all things, if something was or became toxic before, you have to be honest with yourself and sit in that present moment and look towards the future and truly ask yourself if this thing is going to be different being restarted, if this is going to be different doing this again. If you truly are getting an answer that answer is yes, and this is going to be improved and this is going to be different, then all power to you, all the grace, all the love, all the ease to have this be flowing for you. But be honest with your cells, be honest with your self cells, be honest with your gut, be honest with your heart. You know, and you can feel what is to come. Okay? So with what's taking place, balance. Okay? It might be difficult. You might be getting a picture. You might be seeing this beautiful picture of how things are going to be different. With the old reality, you're not in the old reality anymore in May. You're not in the old reality anymore in May. Just sit with this for a second. Maybe not now, maybe later. Because maybe some of you are still in these situations now that you're still being asked by God to take a break, to release this person, to take space, to end something. Truly sit down with yourself and ask yourself, am I more sad in this situation? Am I more sad with this person than the amount of sad that I'd be without them? You want me to say that again? Am I more sad in this relationship than I am grieving the loss of this person? That's your answer. Okay? That's your answer. So sitting with this and how good you're doing in April and how good you're feeling in April. Is this some moths to the flame situation? Many things have been setting their sights on the angelics this entire time. And I'm not saying there's something fear-based. I'm not saying like something dark is after you. No. The old you will be testing the new you. Are you going to go into a situation again that you know this is not fixed? Okay? A house is in the process of being built, but it's a frame with a very beautiful walkway. It's like the walkway is, it's pristine. They got like gemstones and crystals in there, but then there's no roof. There will be rain falling on everybody. The container is not completed for what you deserve, for what they deserve, for what this person's entire family line deserves. Be the angel that you came here to be. And sometimes that means not doing what might seem like it's going to feel good. The strength that comes from saying no and driving forward with your magic, from driving forward with your power, with this power of creation, this power of God, this power of the mother, this power of the father. That's what you came here to do. That's what you've been waiting for. So prove it. Prove it. Not to me. You can prove it to God if you want. You can prove it to the universe. I suggest proving it to yourself. June 51:8. Here we go. We are doing June now. Oh. June. Alrighty, here we go. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, see now? Now we're cooking. I know this looks like some bad cards, but it's good. Yeah, see, now we're cooking. Now we're kind of this like under any other version of me giving this reading, I would be like, wow, death, the tower, the 9, the 10. This is it. This is when these people that had to go through what they had to go through to come to this completion, to step into their power, to step into their divine femininity, divine masculinity, to have their inner child be integrated. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now they are floating above their old version of them. Like this is the equivalent of like Alexander sitting here like this like magical ascended form of myself floating over the grave that says, here lies Alex. Alex was never me. Alex was who I became. Alex was the insecurities and the codependencies and the trauma and everything that became identified as myself. This is what is happening for all the people of why you said to wait. It's truly taking place in June. This is now their dragons going into the ashes. They're getting therapy. They're healing. They're stepping into their truth. They're admitting what they did. They're finally crying over the milk they spilled and just saying like, oh, well, you gave me a top-heavy glass. Okay, this is how they step into love, is by feeling like they've betrayed themselves. And we're still here with open arms, ready to heal that which needs to be healed. This whole you heal me, I heal you. Even though like there might still be, I'm not saying that this is you accepting this and taking these people back. Absolutely not. I'm saying finally they came to you and they were almost just saying like, hey, do you want to go back into this loop with me? Do you want to be friends again? Do you want to do this again? Do you want to start this business partnership again? Hey, it's been a while since you came to the party. So you want to come to the party? Like, this is why you were saying no during March and May, because in June, the process has actually started. That doesn't mean it's time to, oh, Alexander said I can finally reach back out to the person. No. Allow this process to take place for all of us, for humanity, for every single archetype, for every single starseed lineage. This is the multidimensional process. This is what was necessary. It's for the old versions of these people with these old nicknames of what felt safe, for them to rise above it, for them to complete that which they came here to complete, to achieve and claim their strength of the awakening. It's undeniable for them at this point. They have to claim their strength in June. Okay? And they know that they can no longer hurt, they can no longer cheat, they can no longer lie, they can no longer steal, they can no longer make excuses, they can no longer refuse to apologize. And they figured that out for them. We're not allowed to interrupt that process. You have to allow that process during March and May. But it just got more real with that. You could do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I'm not saying you can't. Alexander said I can't. No. I know, but I felt a few people get triggered. Don't yell at me when you do. You're not my dad. June, July. 55:45. Okay, here we go. July. Whatever will be, will be. All right. Okay. Well, I'm not doing Q&A today, but I will. I'll drop into this question. What makes you fixed and others not ready? That's separation. So clearly, I've riled something within you. That's interesting. I will give everybody the answer on that. When the reality starts to observe you as the father, as the mother, when the reality starts to actually function in that way, and people know and they can see that you're holding a blueprint, that they are waiting for that blueprint to be shared of how to be, of how to show up, of how to be the grandfather, the grandmother, all of these frequencies, and they're asking you. So what I'm saying is there will be people in your reality. That doesn't mean every single person in your reality, but you will start to hear, to truly answer that question for you. You will have people come to you. You will have friends come to you that are all of a sudden looking at you in a different light. And they will ask you questions like, were you my mom or were you my dad in a past lifetime? That is how you will know. When things separate themselves from this brother-sister matrix that we're all brothers and sisters, but when the reality starts to perceive you as the father, as the mother, as the grandmother, as the grandfather, that is when you will know that this has taken place. And that's not separation. Light is hexagonal. The matrix is both of your little inner children, whoever's listening to this message, your little boy, your little girl, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. That is the hexagonal matrix of why light appears hexagonal. It's about embodying and being all of that. It's not being just because they're seeing you as the father over here, wherever that is. That doesn't matter. It's about being all of the frequencies, because that's what's most necessary for us to be completed and whole multidimensionally and step out of duality, to become one, to become whole, to become the light that's only going to get brighter and grow taller. A mini inside galactic update. Okay, oh, that locked. With all due respect now, no more questions. Okay. All right. Is that Lizzie? Lizzie made it. Okay. I guess I moved those 3 cards. Were these like this? Either way, it's the same message. Yeah, something's coming through with like soul retrieval. So pieces of the spirit from these old forces, pieces of the spirit from this Zeus force, Neptune, like these father gods, little g gods, pieces of the past reality are coming in fast. Pieces that seem to be over, we're finding things that were actually very powerful and very beautiful and very loving about these old systems. That for the old system to completely fall away, like this is basically what's taking place, and then we're able to see beyond the veil. That's like, oh, wait a minute, like with that part, like let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. There's been a major completion. We can see the completion. We know the completion. We're living the completion. And now this transmutation process has taken place. This transmutation process has taken place. And this is what is manifesting, is that there are some things that were perceived as bad that are not bad. There are some things with money or structure or masculinity. There are some things that we basically are able to gather the energy to move forward on the journey in love. is what this says. It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't even matter if this was like this. It's the same thing. Something has been retrieved so we can, because when these two readings, anybody that took my tarot material, they know when these two cards are together in a reading, that means that this is talking about like actual pieces of energy coming to us. So this is multidimensional. This is mind, body, spirit. So this is a multi-dimensional piece that's taking place here when we're able to see beyond the veil. So that's really exciting about July. We're able to see beyond the veil. Something as is healing. Is it July? Did I forget to write the time down? Oh no, it's because I was talking. Yeah, it's still July. Okay. So this is what's happening in July. This is what's taking place. Is we're able to see that there are some things that maybe we perceived as bad that are not bad. And this is what is transmutating for us to move forward in the vibration of love. Good stuff. Very, very, very good. I know, don't you, Carrie Lynn? Carrie Lynn says, I love the way 2025 is moving. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. 8. So that one's like kind of like I want to put a star next to that one. I want to see, because this happened last year. If you look at last year's reading for July, I literally said like what week in July, like which I don't even usually talk about the weeks. I said first week in July, this is what's happening, and then that happened. That was then when the Sound of Freedom movie came out. So like this is like once again we're seeing something with the old world coming up in July. We'll have to see how this plays out in the reality. But I'm excited for that validation. July, August. Okay. At 1:03:33. All right. Oh, I need water. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. Ooh. Okay. A little bit of rollover. So what does July mean going into August for the, so we're literally able to see the spirit. So spirit, our guides are letting us know like, hey, just because these people have fallen over, just because of what you said before, what is right in your heart for you to do? Okay. If these people are suffering, all that's necessary, like all that's necessary for these people from the old world, this old patriarchy, all that was necessary, I'll speak for myself. All that was necessary for me was to hear them say, I messed up. I'm sorry. Like, and there might have been this belief structure that you were like, we got to get all these bad people and send them to Mars. We got to make them their own island. Send them to the tip of Alaska. This isn't about that. This is about how are you supposed to show up for this reflection, that somebody had to be the reflection. And what this ends up showing is with your bounty of light, you heal me, I heal you. Make the decision. There's times in life that the speaking from my own personal experience, that the only way I could step into the next level, was by forgiving the people that stabbed me in the back in previous lifetimes. Like that's literally what the Ides of March is. That's why we have this thing marked. You know, it's like, I mean, the people that are in the patron family, the people that have been following me for years, they know how many years we spent as a group transmutating all that. And as I was transmutating all that stuff with this whole like Caesar timeline, that's where the curse came from. Like the curse came from him looking in his friends and his brother's eyes as he was being stabbed in the back and saying, I love you, I forgive you. The weight of that not being from malice, him honestly saying, I love you and I forgive you while he's being betrayed is why that karma was so strong. So that doesn't mean that we use that information for personal gain. That's not even possible. That's the type of thing that will literally have somebody self-destruct if they're trying to use the power of love for manipulation. But that's what actually happened back then throughout those fractals of the archetype. And that's what I've seen time and time again, over and over again. Like that's what's been taking place. So this is how we step into this anew, as this new form of us. We see. So what this says is you'll be able to see in July that they are suffering, and you will be able to do something about it in August. So what will the decision be? What will, during this powerful moon window that they're telling us about, what is it that you're manifesting for humanity? My focus is really on this golden apple that he's holding, when that was never even his to hold, and forgiving that, manifesting it, remembering our dreams, paying attention, having all the elements on the table. You have all the elements on the table. What are you going to do about it? Like, just because these people made mistakes does not mean we let them incinerate themselves. Does not mean that we let them destroy themselves. We're being asked to make the decision to be loving. To be loving. And we're not being asked, we're literally being asked by your other dimensional versions. You're being asked by your team. You're being asked by spirit, your guides, your crossed over relatives. We don't know through distant relatives. Like this person that you're upset with, you might be sharing DNA with them. And by being mean to them, you're being mean to yourself. There's a reflection matrix that's taking place in August. And we will be being observed by spirit to see how we show up, to see what we do, and to see if it's truthful. So we have 8 months to prepare for this. Let's prepare for this. I mean, even this, like, I mean, it's like, how many of these videos, you just go back and watch the videos on the channel. Like, how many times was I talking about Zeus? And I was all that stuff. And I was like, so mad. I didn't even delete the videos. I leave them up as a guide of my growth and my ascension process. I joke around and say, oh, sorry, guys, I got to go drop a Zeus. And I was like, so mad at Zeus. But it's like, the more I sat with all that, and the more I saw what the heck was taking place there. And it's like, yeah, he made a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the day, like, all the people that had the most difficult childhoods made mistakes. And his dad was trying to find him and destroy him. And he was literally sent to an island to be brought up by nature elementals. He didn't have his father. He didn't have his mother. He was literally just brought up by like little pixies and dryads and like living trees. That's the story. This is something I saw. How do you not forgive somebody to be like, well, if you went through that, or if I went through that, that's how I sat with it. If I went through that, would I have the capacity to not make mistakes in the future? To not be hurt? This is not brain surgery here, family. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. All truths are but half truths, right? September 1/10/55. Oh, those perfect numbers at the end. Okay. All right, September it is. Let's go. The apple. Katie. She knows. Will you choose harmony, my sister? I know you will. Do you know you will? Okay, September. What are we learning this time? Okay. See, and there it is. Okay. This is a lot of. Okay. Let me just finish dropping these. All right. See? So what this is saying is you'll be observing some that during this window in March and during this window in May, they choose to get back into these things. To those that have chosen to get back into these things, what this says is we're able to see the truth that something is not even how it was before. It could actually be worse. It could actually be worse. Because that's something that any psychologist or therapist will tell you about. When a narcissistic tendency gets exposed, like when the narcissist gets exposed and they see that their words are no longer affecting the one-on-one, the words, like, it's like they used to rile you and drain your energy, not you. They used to rile whoever the John Doe is here in the situation. They used to rile them by accusing them, by blaming them, by shaming them. But the second that stops working, now the ante has to be upped. And the ante then goes to, like, now it's your friends, your family members, your children, your entire family line, like something, until that they're getting that energy and that sustenance. So for some, this process has been interrupted. This is not for everybody. This is for some of you are observing that this has happened. Some of you are like, oh my God, this is crazy, that this is accurate, that this person tried to come back in March. Maybe I took them back in May. And then at this window in September, I'm seeing exactly what Alexander said. The truth has been revealed and I feel stuck. No one's stuck. It's about making the right decision. It's about looking at your future multidimensionally. And even if this has happened, even though I'm telling you, without telling you that this is a mistake if you do these things in March and May, it isn't a mistake if you need to be sure, if you didn't want to have regret, if you didn't want to just like blame the guy on your cell phone talking right now and just be like, yeah, I hear you, but I got to do it. I hear you. I see it. None of this is a mistake. This is all part of the process. And we will be seeing that some people went through this process. Some people weren't able to hear what we were telling them, that like, hey, I'm vetting for you. Something's off. Something's off with this guy. Something's off with this girl. Something doesn't feel right about this job. Something doesn't feel right about this move. If they're not able to hear that, that's fine. We got to trust them that their learning is there, because that's what this is saying, is the learning is there. And this is not a mistake. Doing it again in the future and repeating the loop again and allowing the loop to repeat again is a mistake. So for those of you that are just like, have been flying high during these months and during this year, there's going to be a lot of high flying. There's going to be more multidimensionality. There's going to be more communication with spirit. There's going to be more inner child power. There's going to be more building. The creation and the start of maybe new businesses for some of you, new things that you always wanted to do, things that you did start before this window are going to start to be fruitful and bring in the people, bring in the abundance, bring in whatever it is that you're needing for them to bring in. So we will be watching some people go through endings. We'll be seeing more people step into truth that didn't fully step into truth. And it's going to be fast. It's going to be a fast month. Like September is going to go by in a flash is what this says. Okay. Ooh, good. Ain't nobody got time for this. Okay? Especially not in the future. Alrighty. October. $116.53. Here we go. Faster. Do you know that they've scientifically proven that time goes by faster on top of the skyscraper than it does on the bottom? Quantum science is fascinating. So that's what happens. When we raise our frequency, when our frequency grows, time will go by faster. Faster but slower at the same time. Okay. Oof, with the inner child. Okay, so inner child's at the bottom is the cloud cover. Okay, so the inner child is over the angelic, over moving forward with love, over like what really is the victory, what was really necessary for all of us to come together as the entire wheel. Wow, this is really, really powerful. Okay, so this is representing the tree of the Sephiroth. It can be representing the entire family. It can also be representing the hexagonal matrix that I was talking about. Was that at the beginning of July? Yeah, that would be sometime around 55 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay. If you flash forward to this hexagonal matrix of light and what has been taking place for us to become whole again, to step out of this duality matrix and all this fractalization that went from the 7 to the 9 to the 12 and so on and so forth, of things being split up more and more and more, when these came from an original essence, these came from an original head of frequency. So what we are seeing is this beloved benevolent frequency, and we're once again being asked, how did we create this and what to do going forward, what to do next? How do we create the next shift if things are looking this awesome? Even if they're not seeming awesome, the things and the shifts and the things that seem to be falling and these things that seem to be stopping lead to our freedom. They lead to abundance. They lead to the shifts that are necessary for everything to balance. So this is saying that in October, things are balancing from all the work we've done. Things are shifting with all of this. So it's like this whole question, like with this like death card with the victory card, it's like, how do we achieve victory when victory has already been achieved? Like this is like this conundrum in and of itself. Like this is the embodiment of hope. Instead of being in faith and saying, "Oh, I manifest," there's always enough. This is what this is saying to me, is there's always more than enough. Like something is like one of the other months seemed like it had some sort of financial shift or a huge energetic shift, like some sort of influx and empowerment of energy. But this is like really like, hey, you did the work, you meditated upon it, you acted right, the building came down, boom, now this comes out. It's almost like what this is saying is like, hey, it's time for the piggy bank to be smashed open to get the coin out of it that you put in all that time ago. And that coin is love. That coin is multidimensional. It's mind, body, spirit. So this is the work that's been being done. So we're being asked to be like, what's next? How do I sit with this? How did I get here? And how do I get to where I'm going? What is it that I want next? Because something has by far been created, stepped into the new. I see tribe, I see community, I see moving forward with love, I see celebration, party, and the angels. Like, this is it. This is what people were waiting for. Like, this is when we go out and we have that big dance party on top of the mesa here. Okay. And however that looks, that doesn't mean it has to be that. I'm just saying, like, something's going on in October that we can truthfully and honestly, without feeling like it's a reach or a stretch, that something major has shifted and the war is absolutely over. Okay. Feast of Fruits. Oh, I like that, Jen. Ooh, it's November. Only 1 month away from Halloween. Anybody who didn't watch the intro is like, what is he talking about? 12309. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds like the combination an idiot would have on his matched luggage. Alrighty. You know it, Katie. If you're watching this message from the future, it's only 12 days from your birthday. You didn't even call me this year. Oops. It's because I was dying. It's not even. Yeah, it's a new year. Let's not. We won't talk about November. The bad man's gone. Okay, November. This is a different November. November 2025. Okay, Mary, original Mother God, please guide me for an accurate card reading for November 2025. If you can make spirit laugh, you've done something right. Okay. Oof. Oof. All right. Ooh, man. Okay. All right. All right, November. Moving forward while looking backwards. Moving forward and looking backwards, and this is talking about people and places and belief structures that were no longer serving us. So this is coming up as, once again, being able to see these people that are able to see the mistakes of what happened. Like I was telling you guys, during March and during May, there's an opportunity to let people, places, things, jobs back in that they're not done hurting us. And they might be speaking good words. They might be laying down some beautiful breadcrumbs. They might be laying down some beautiful diamond roads. Something has not been completed yet, even by November. So what I was telling you was something that, what month was that came through? So I think it was it September and October? We were seeing that a process started, and then it wasn't completed, but we could see that it was completing, I believe, in October. You could go back and watch the reading. So what we're seeing here. Oh God, it's making me burp. 1 second. Okay. What we're seeing here is some of these people are still, they're still having to see that something wasn't completed because something enabled these old frequencies. Something enabled their ego, that their ego was identifying as their spirit. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about today, you watching this in November, and 11 months from now, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. There is somebody that is telling you that their oracle, that their intuition is this is the truth. And that truth is not the truth. That truth is coming from their ego. Okay? So what is that? This is a difference of values. This is a difference of boundaries. This is a difference of alignments of the self. That we cannot allow this anymore. We can't not allow, because what was I telling you in the beginning? What was I telling you during that window of that reading? I told you we cannot allow our inner child to be hurt anymore. So this is saying that there are some people that, you know, they said they were making a decision. They said that they were done with something. They said they'd never cheat again. This is this whole like, just because it's ascended doesn't mean that these people are done. They're not done. They need to be left to their own devices. They need to be left to their own devices, and that's okay. Like, they're coming with us. That's what I told you. That's what I told you in the intro. They're coming with us. Okay? It's just going to seem like they're over there. It's going to seem like they're over there. We cannot allow ourselves to be the ones that are enabling this frequency. If you see your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your parents, or your relatives, if you see them doing this, your coworkers, like if you see this happening, if they ask you, yeah, tell them. If they ask you, what do you think of him? Don't lie. What do you think of this? Hey, I feel like doing this. Can you drop card? Can you do this? Can you tune in? Give them the truth. But this is this window of where you could have the opportunity to say, I told you so, but that is a failed test. Spirit, God is letting you know now. Don't you dare say the words, I told you so, during November. Okay? This is a window of just being like, okay, now what do we do next? How do we make sure that this doesn't repeat itself again? That's what it is. It's for us to be able to support this person when they're sad, to support this person when they're still needing balance, when they're still needing truth. Not reminding them, I texted you over, and I told you so-and-so is this or that. That's not going to make this person feel safe to be able to come to you again. Okay? And just observe. To those of you that do slip and say, I told you so during that window, I almost guarantee you'll never see that person again. Not saying that to put you in fear. I'm letting you know, do not do that. It's manipulative. It's manipulative. Like, they're going through enough as it is. Hold space for them. But once again, what does it say? This offer of alone time, something was interrupted. Something was interrupted by restarting this in March or May or after that. Like, this is a healing process that was going to take a really long time. This cannot be expected to, boom, flash a light. This person goes through the awakening and it's just done. I've been holding space for that this entire time. I know that sounds good. Of course I want that. Of course I want that. But Spirit is reiterating to me, like, it's how does that even make sense, though? Like, how can a person just completely just snap the fingers and they're a totally different person? Is that them? Are you breathing, brother? In through the nose, out through the mouth. I see you. This thing gives me anxiety. No, that thing makes your mind think. And when your mind thinks about that specific thing, you start to hold your breath. And holding your breath and preventing oxygen from getting to your heart and your brain is what's giving you anxiety. Remain in your breath, remain in your power, and pull it down below your belly button. There you are. 131.27. How did you know? Ha ha ha. Oh, I love that. Love you, bro. I don't even know. What even is that? I've never heard that song before. I turned to the radio. I had to add that. That is fire. Okay. Just smile, the last words of the song. Okay. Okay. Seriously? All right. Okay, good. I'm sure the rest of this will be awesome. Of course it is. All right, family. All right. Okay. This whole March, May window with like what's being combined with that, with July and August, and what's coming up after that, for those that are not heeding this advice of whoever this is, whatever this thing that ended, whatever this thing that is perhaps begun again, that you know is wrong for you. Okay. You're able to see why this was wrong for you. And this is what this is saying, is this is beautiful. This is a gift. There's a gift coming in December where you're seeing like why this wasn't supposed to happen. Like this person did not have capacity. Like you were saved is what this says. You were saved by this thing ending. You were able to shine and have your container, stop having holes stabbed in it, and have your cup, your container, your chalice fully overflow in the physical. To have these energetic frequencies overflowing from your crown to fill up the crowns of everybody around you is what you're able to see. When this person, when this vampire frequency that's using drama is no longer able to do this, no longer able to create sadness, no longer able to create anxiety, no longer able to make it harder on you, to make it harder on your family, to make it harder on your children, to make it harder on all of the things. This is all, it is completed. You can see it's completed. I couldn't think of a better 3 cards to put together for the end of this year. Look at this, the completion, the family, the entire tree of the Sephiroth. This is like literally showing like if today is the year of the these narcissists being exposed and the year of purity and stepping back into innocence, this is basically saying that this next year that we're about to step into, to just see it now as a glance, this is the year of the tree of life. Like this is the year of the tree. This is the year of whatever, Yggdrasil, whatever the heck we want to call it. Like there's something that like for, you know, it's like for this seed, like what is this seed? You hear people talking about star seeds. Like it's like the seed gets planted, the tree grows. There's points where trees are gigantic and they're not bearing fruit. This, that is for all of humanity, this true Christmas gift, this true holiday cheer, this holiday gift that we're getting in a year from now. This is this tree that the fruit is bearing, and the fruit falls from the tree, and then those seeds go into the ground, and maybe not even slowly, but surely an orchard has been created. This literally looks like the Garden of Eden. That's what we've gotten to. With no more of this, like, oh, she did this, that happened, this, oh, God said that. No. We are able to see that we had to protect the garden. We had to protect innocence. We had to stop having sex in these ways. We had to stop doing medicines in these ways. We had to stop drinking. We had to stop doing these things, that there are still people around that are still doing these things. But we're seeing that, oh my God, like everybody that's doing the things, it's not easy not to smoke that thing, to drink that thing. It's not easy to not do that thing, but you know what you have to do and you've done it. And therefore the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your work, the fruits of you putting life first, putting God first, putting love first. This is all seen in December. This is all multidimensionally seen: physical, mental, spiritual. The you that you came here to be, this light worker, you have worked with the light and you have completed something major. And then you can see, like, oh my God, I got saved. That person didn't have the capacity. The company was about to shut down. That's like, oh man, I would have been stuck with this person forever. Maybe I would have been stuck in this trauma with them. You're going to see that there's still this like crab in the bucket thing, that like, just because this is exposed doesn't mean that it's done, but you're able to get the gift from the hard work of doing what this year, by this year, I mean, just like a few present moments ago, what you had to do. And for some of you still have to do, that you know you have to do. And it wasn't easy to do, but you were doing what you had to do because you knew you had to do it. There's a difference between what we have to do and what we want to do. This is what meets our needs and the needs of your children, the needs of your family, and the needs of godliness and truth and sovereignty and virtue. Wow, you got a little fire at the end of that one. All right, and he's back. And that's what you see. You see you became this ascended form. This has nothing to do with masculine frequency. This is literally the light worker becoming worked light from the offering, this new beginning. This is a new beginning. The tree is here. The tree will grow. Either the orchard already exists. Let me just find out. The orchard already exists. This is our true connection with the garden of creation. This is our true connection with knowledge. This is everything that we're stepping into. I have never even seen anything close to a year this good. We can still see that there's a little bit of separation between the family, plain and simple. Like these people that are suffering, these people that are still struggling to get therapy, whatever the thing is. If somebody cannot say they're sorry, they cannot admit that they need help. Okay? So if they cannot apologize for the things they've done wrong, how can it just be this snap fingers and they're awake? Okay? And that's okay. If they're in their heart, which they are, because we can see that these people are coming through this window. They're coming through this gateway with us. They're coming through this gateway where it's like, oh my God, like there's people just like, this is so freaking awesome. And there's people that's like, what is this? Stop choosing drama. Stop choosing control. Stop choosing the devil. Choose love. Choose God. And don't choose. Make a decision to cut this permanently away. Remove these cards from the table. Okay? You make it sound so easy, Alexander. It is. It is. It is, but it isn't. It is, but it isn't. Know what you did do that was difficult, that you did do, or what you're still sitting with here today that you know you have to do. You have to do it. Escape the pains of the lower planes by vibrating on the higher, my family. Ba-boom. All righty. We did it. We did it. Yeah. So Thanksgiving is coming. I know. It might sound very confusing. I don't know if I just missed the comments, but I'll come back on the video once the video posts and I can see the chat feed. I'd love to hear everybody's 2 cents. Did you notice? I can't drum the drum. The drum's gone. Okay, I'm just gonna tell the truth. That drum is gone. What was I saying? Oh yeah. To those of you that sat with that, maybe came back and wrote this comment later. I don't know if those comments were here on the live chat feed, but when they're on the live feed does not get transferred to the physical feed that stays on the video later. So I would love to just get that that validation. Did you guys notice that? Did you notice that the magic of Halloween was missing from Halloween, and that the holiday season and Christmas was more magical than it's ever been in a long time? I personally believe this has something to do with the manipulation of time of what took place during 2020. We're not going to say all that and get the video flagged. You know what happened. But if the magic was flipped, now is a time of gratitude. Remain in your gratitude. Remain in your power. Remain in your faith. And watch the miracles manifest. Create. I love you. I love energy and hugs all over you. I love you. I know I gotta go. I don't know. I'm gonna go drink water. I'm just like hovering over the end stream button, but I want to make sure that everybody knows how much I appreciate them, how much I love you, and how grateful I am that this has gotten to be my job for the past years. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.